Qualified duck hunters adhere to the adage bigger is better when it comes to the size of the decoys they use to attract the birds they're after. The more decoys they place in the water, the greater their chances are of luring a duck into their trap. Because of this, many professional duck hunters stock hundreds of decoys in their arsenal. What's interesting is that the theory is generally accurate. Your chances of successfully amassing a large number of ducks in close proximity to your intended shooting range decrease in direct proportion to the size of your decoy spread. While the bigger the better approach tends to work for seasoned duck hunters, it is not always successful for novice or intermediate hunters. These duck hunters rarely, if ever, use a large number of duck decoys, and there are a few reasons for this. Not all duck hunters prefer to use a large spread, either because they lack the funds to purchase numerous decoys or because they lack the resources to transport and set up such a large spread on every hunt. When it comes down to it, a smaller decoy spread is just as effective as a larger one. The outcome is totally up to your strategy and level of expertise. Duck hunting can be the time of your life if you know how to set up a few dozen decoys in the water. When hunting ducks, it's more important to focus on technique than quantity. To help you catch a lot of ducks with the help of decoys, we've laid out some strategies you can employ. Scouting's vital role. Without scouting, success is unlikely. It takes some ingenuity and creativity, but all hunters can make a decoy spread that works. Testing and experimenting is required, and scouting for game can actually be the most exciting part of a duck hunting trip. Knowing what kind of duck decoys you need is the first step when deciding to use decoys. You can learn this through in-depth reconnaissance and observation of the target. Among the duck species common in puddle duck spreads, the mallard is likely to be the most numerous and predominate. To attract these waterfowl, use a decoy of a mallard duck. You shouldn't use only mallard decoys, but if you want to mix things up a bit, feel free to include a few decoys of some other species of duck. Use decoys that are a good fit for the environment. For example, a mallard duck decoy could be used to hunt diving ducks in open water. An estimate of the number of decoys. There are a number of considerations that must be made when estimating the number of decoys needed for a given duck hunt. I assume you're hunting some sort of waterfowl, but what species of duck are you after specifically? The use of more than 15 duck decoys may be unnecessary if you are hunting in a remote pothole. Avoid having too many decoys in the water at once. You must make room for the ducks to land. Maintain a realistic decoy spread at all times, and be patient. Most ducks won't land the second they see the decoy, so you'll need to wait until at least a couple have landed nearby before you make your move. If your target is a larger body of water, however, it is prudent to use a more extensive decoy spread. It is common practice for professional hunters to set up a decoy spread consisting of 30 to 40 decoys, giving the real birds plenty of room to land and fall for the trick. Using decoys in open duck hunting areas. The ducks you're hoping to bag will be under extreme stress from all the other hunters in waterfowl areas, making your job much more difficult. The presence of other hunters on public waterfowl lands means that a larger decoy is usually ineffective. When ducks have become accustomed to a decoy spread, they are less likely to be fooled by it. Therefore, you should use your intelligence and try out different decoys. A successful decoy setup requires a strategy that is distinct from that of other hunters. For this, creative thinking is required, including action in decoys. A wide variety of duck hunting tools and supplies are available today. To a greater or lesser extent, they all improve your duck hunting. While many of the offerings are brilliant, a few fall short. One thing is certain though, your decoys will be much more effective if you give them a touch of realism. In most cases, a moving decoy is the best way to lure in unsuspecting birds. It's possible to do this in two ways, with a jerk string decoy mechanism or with mechanical winging of spinning ones. Because of this, the hunt will be both more exciting and more challenging. It doesn't matter where you're hunting, making sudden, jerky movements with your decoys will make your spread seem more real and approachable. Put strings on the front and back of your decoys to make them point in different directions. As you may have witnessed, ducks do not always look in the same direction. Since they can change course at any time, your decoys must be flexible as well. Making your fakes look authentic is the best tactic. After all, it's nice to take a winning record home with you. Even if you have gone on a few duck hunting trips or are an expert, you should put your newfound knowledge of what makes a good decoy to use by practicing. you can sharpen your hunting skills through regular practice. Therefore, make use of your creative faculties to try out various decoy setups and master the art of target manipulation. Create a decoy that will attract ducks for a successful duck hunt with this method.